Ah, there she is. Aztec Motley Sunglow in my mango tree. She made it all the way to the top here. She's really enjoying herself. Getting a little UV sunlight there on the top. Basking, maybe she'll grab a mango if she's hungry. They love it. They really love it. You give them a chance to be in nature, man. It's just great. Look at that. She's just never been in a tree before, but she's climbing like she's been here her whole life. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and it is such a beautiful day here in Cape Coral, Florida, that we're going to be taking our snakes outside. That's right. This is going to be a quick video with a couple of really cool snakes that I really love in my collection. I almost said connection. Collection, and I want to show you how beautiful they are when the sun hits them and just brings out their truly magnificent colors. So we're going to call this more of an artistic video today rather than an informational video, although I'm always trying to give you as much information as possible. Stay tuned. All right, look at this beauty. Motley IMG, which we know makes a black snake, and one copy of the black gene, which is the Costa Rican version of leopard. So it's basically het leopard, essentially. Pretty cool, huh? Look at the luminescence in that black from the sun outside here catching that. You can see his head is not quite black yet, but he's not even a year old, this guy. And he's already jet black, which is just shows you what the Motley IMG will do, and then add a copy of, like, you know, essentially leopard in there. Really, really dark. Look at him. Look at him loving being outside. I love these black snakes. I would love to see what a leopard Motley IMG looks like, and we might make one. Maybe not this year, probably next. All right, we'll continue with our outdoor videos. This is a hypo, as you can see, Scooria, het VPI T positive. So it's het for the T positive albino line with that's represented by VPI. And look at how beautiful this girl is. She's got some nice eyes on her she's put on. She's really grown really well. Papa said she's a maniac eater. She'll eat anything you put in front of her, essentially. But you can see the hypo Scorias, they don't have any black in them, and usually regular Scorias will have black. These hypos are completely devoid of black. And once again, the het VPI T positive makes them a little lighter too, because there's definitely some visual cues from VPI, even in its single gene form, even though it's theoretically considered a recessive trait, and I think it is. You do see some lightening of the animal in the recessive form. These snakes are loving it. It's really warm out here today in Cape Coral, so they're really digging the heat. All right, there he is. Mr. Blue. My blue line, sun glow, insane looking, beautiful boa. This is from my blue line to blue line breeding I did last year. This one probably was the nicest one, or I wouldn't say it's the nicest one, because he just is very different looking, because he's got all these whites offset by the blues in him. Really nice. You can just see. He is. Look at the head. Look at the saturation of the head and the front part of his body. And then he's got all these whites and like gold flaking in here. It's really kind of bizarre. Super cool. I really can't wait to breed this little boy. He's gonna take another year or so. He's about a year old now. He's still small. And I'd say another year before he's gonna breed. I'm not in a rush. I don't want to push him. He's so gorgeous that I'd rather take my time with him and just get like some insane looking babies out of him. Plus I have to figure out who I want to breed him to. That's going to be tough also. I don't know, I don't really know which snakes to pair him with yet, but I got time. All right, I showed you a bunch of Onyx boas the other day, some really nice red ones. This is a Hypo Onyx blood male that I produced about almost 2 years ago now, a year and a half. Looking really, really beautiful here. And this, if you remember, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you'll remember this guy actually escaped when he was first born. He was gone for 3.5 months. I thought we were never getting him back. And then one day I just found him and he's been fine. He was a little ratty looking, you know, when I got him, but it's funny, he became a much better eater. I think he appreciates the food now because he realizes that I give him the food. Whereas before, when he was out on his own for 3.5 months, he was probably, if he ate anything, he probably was eating some geckos or anoles that are running around my snake room, but that's about it. So he might be ready to breed another year. I think he's gonna be, remember these Onyx are tiny, they're small. He's pretty well developed for an Onyx, and I suspect by next year he'll definitely be breeding. Size doesn't matter with these guys, it's all about age. And we continue with our outdoor snake videoing today. This is a possible super hypo. I think it is Phantom. So super hypo Phantom. That's super hypo, sharp albino. Actually, paradigm, I should say. I almost messed up. So it's super hypo, paradigm, which is 1 copy of sharp albino, 1 copy of Boa woman caramel T positive, and then visual Ralph Davis reptile black-eyed anery. So this is basically a black-eyed anery moonglow with the sharp albino gene and the Boa woman caramel. So we have a paradigm, hypo, black-eyed anery, and this thing is so phantom-y looking, so ghost-like, unbeautiful, believable. Look at that. It's like someone just drained the color out of it, the red color out of it. But it still has some contrast and stuff. It's not totally white. I'll show you what totally white looks like in a second. There it is, the whitest snake in all of Boas that you'll ever see. There is no whiter snake. Even the super fire diamonds are not this white. Maybe albino versions of them, but this is a super hypo blizzard. Super hypo, 2 copies of hypo gene, 1 copy of sharp albino, 1 copy, well, actually 2 copies of sharp albino, and then the 2 copies of the black-eyed anery gene. So this is a black-eyed anery, sharp albino hypo, or sharp sunglow snow, or you can call it a million of things. What we call this is a super hypo blizzard. And once again, nothing left. This snake will never yellow ever because the black-eyed anery gene removes all yellows as well as all reds. This snake is about as perfect as you can get. And I think I might sell one of these. I have a new litter this year that we had with some of these guys in it. And we might put one up for sale. So if you guys are interested, reach out to me. Gorgeous. All right, last snake of the day. This girl is putting on some nice size. She's 2 years old now. And this is a Motley Aztec sharp albino sunglow. So it's hypo Motley, sharp albino, Aztec. Aztec is incomplete dominant. Motley and hypo seem to sit on the same allele. So if you have a Motley gene, you can only have 1 copy of hypo. So that's we know definitively. You can see that Motley striped tail. You can see the Aztec square little patterns, little cubes. Sharp albino, and it's 100% het RDR black-eyed anery. So we could make some crazy Motley Aztec blizzards with this. You saw the blizzard before. I wonder what it would look like if we added Aztec and Motley. Will it look just play white, or will we see pattern in it? That's something we're gonna have to find out. Beautiful snake, growing really well, and she's entering to the sunlight. They love the sunlight, these snakes. They really do. We don't give them UV, but they probably need it. All right, if that boa in my mango tree didn't want you to go out and eat a nice fresh fruit salad, I don't know what will. But I do love to see my boas out in the natural habitat. And that's why I love the outdoor enclosures. Believe me, Tom Crutchfield, when I went to see his place for the very first time, and I saw all those outdoor enclosures he had built and the snakes just thriving out there and loving it, and the lizards and everything he has out there, I was just like, holy mackerel. Man, that's what I'd love to do at some point. So, little by little, we're building some outdoor enclosures for the snakes. I don't know if I'll put my boa outside, although Tom has a huge boa constrictor outside. It's probably the biggest boa I've ever seen, to be honest with you. It's enormous, and it's doing fine out there. So it actually, I think, produced a litter outside with a lot of babies. So you never know. We might put a boa outside one of these days. I will say this, however, that it is nice to get the snakes out in the sunlight. They definitely like the UV light. I don't know how we could ever create habitats for all our boas, especially when we have a big breeding program, to be able to give them UV light, but I think it can only help them. I have my super fires in that indoor enclosure with a UV bulb on it. And sometimes they bask, not always, but I think they like it. Like I said, we'll see how much they grow, and I'll try to see if there's any differences that I notice growing up my boas under UV light as opposed to the normal way, which is to have them in drawers or tubs and stuff like that. So it's always interesting to keep learning as we progress in our hobby, right? The hobby is never done. We're always learning. And there's always something to be learned. And there's always better and new ways to do things. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways, but sometimes there are new ways, so you got to keep an open mind at all times. Never stop learning. And on those wise notes, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.